problem with it. Inspecting your post, it looks like your opinion is different. Nice opinion. Just one tiny problem with it. Inspecting your post, it looks like your opinion is different from mine. Let me tell you something. I am the baseline for opinions. Any opinion I hold is objectively correct, and as a result, any other opinions are wrong. Guess what? You happen to hold a wrong one. I hope you know that your opinion is now illegal. I have contacted the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the Navy SEALs, Secret Service, and your mom. You'll be sorry you ever shared your opinions. By the time you're reading this, you'll be done for. Nature will punish you. Humanity will punish you. Supernatural beings will punish you. Space will punish you. We decided just to make sure we'll nuke your house from orbit, so there's no chance you can run away. Everyone will know you will die. It's a small price to pay to remove your wrong opinion from this world.
Alrighty, so give me one more second, and done. Okay. Okay. So, welcome back. So, we're gonna go, last two videos have been, league related. Even last stream was, as a scuffy attempt at a league stream, but we're gonna create some videos for, the off season of the league. So we're gonna, and I have the channels reacted that I'm reacting to in the description. If I want, I might just put the video. I'll put the videos. But these are some good. If you like that stuff, these are some good. So let's react and let's get to it.
Hello everyone, Malphite here, and let's start with the roster rumor craziness. It's the LPL and all of the spiciest rumors.
Okay, Pat.
Hello everyone, Malphite here, and let's start with the roster rumor craziness. It's the LPL and LCK edition, and these are the first ones. So we can look at all of the spiciest rumors from all.
Okay, that said, when they start talking, I will occasionally pause to give my, I guess my opinions on the rumors, which you can read it right there, but I'm not gonna say them yet. I'm gonna pause during after each one's read out, and then we'll talk about it.
All of them. I'm gonna start with the oldest ones, and I'm gonna finish with the newest ones. So let's quickly go through these. These are all rumors from Chinese social media such as Weibo and Bilibili, but some of these sources are pretty reliable. So here it is. Anyone's Legend haven't really started their window, but they are looking to keep jungle support. Anyone's Legends GM said on a live recently, if you don't believe it's possible, have the funds to retain jungle support. Right.
So that's been confirmed that Kale and obviously this is an old video, but Kyle and Tarzan are still saying that's
BLG. On is pretty much gone from the team. Knight has a very high chance of leaving, but the rest are unknown. So,
there's rumor of Vipers coming to BLG.
You know that in LPL you have to go through the lottery, right? The
lottery is freaking wild. It is crazy what they're doing with over in China.
Bidding war now. So it's going to be crazy, especially with Knight having such a huge pool on all these teams being so sought after. One more thing that I want to mention quickly is that because of how well LCK did in Worlds and how poorly LPL did, we might see a lot of Korean talent being poured to LPL.
So we're going back to the Korean, where Koreans are just getting bought by the LPL again. Because what was the last time that LPL? I mean, we had a good 2 years BLG, Weibo, and BLG was the first non-Korean players. No Korean players at all made it to a grand final.
Going to LPL, even more than past years. Just because, in the past it was still pretty close with BLG and whatnot, but now it was just Gen G and KT and T1, right? So it wasn't even remotely close. So we have a lot of talented players, and it just feels like there's not enough space in the league, and so many players want to compete, want to go to the highest level, and there's also some space in the LPL for them. So that's quite interesting. Let's continue. So TES, not much news since Jackie Love is pending medical reports on whether he's fit to play next year or not. Kanavi is a huge question mark. Kanavi, for those of you who don't know, a Korean player playing in the LPL for quite a while now. I feel like he's playing for TES now. I thought he was in JDG, but maybe in the past. Anyways, he's playing in the TES, and he was already rumored to return to LCK last year. Maybe, quite likely, this year might be the case, especially Peanut being gone out of HLE. We might see Kanavi going to HLE. But anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. JDG.
That was confirmed via the Hanwha Life Vietnam account.
They are loaded ASF, looking to build another super team like in 2023. Interesting. 3 years later, they have suddenly all the funds necessary. They've contracted Viper and Zeus. Both deals are hard as HLE are loaded as hell, but Knight is rumored to be rejoining. Okay. So what does this mean? Would we get Zeus, someone, I don't know, someone in the jungle, and then Knight, Viper? Whoa, okay. So they want to get rid of Pace, they want to get Viper, so just replace a crazy AD carry with a crazier AD carry. Anyways.
My daughter is being treated for leukemia.
Well, I mean, Pace joined T1, so.
LNG.
And to be fair to Pace, his entire time on JDG was just him alone, basically dragging them to a finish line and win.
They are likely rebuilding around Korean talent. Rumors say they have contacted Zini and Smash and are now presenting a project that will revolve around them. That sounds very exciting, right? Zini, probably the strongest mid laner in the LCK Academy. Hype for 2 years now. Didn't go to LCK last year, but now he's proved himself as being so good and above the rest, and now can go almost anywhere. But there are also big mid laners that probably won't leave their teams, and so maybe this will be the place he's going to end up. Same with Smash. I mean, Smash just being so good. I mean, Padak from KT Academy, same team as Zini, also is looking pretty good, but Smash maybe has more potential or just has this crazier hype. So Zini and Smash would look insane and would be very cool on LNG. But then again, you can only have 2 Koreans, right? So you have to have 3 more Chinese players. We would have to see how that's going to look. But I know LNG, they have Zika on the top lane. Zika looked very strong. So that would be a start for sure. Weibo Gaming, Tian might retire alongside Xiaohu. Wow. That would be the end of the Weibo, right? That's all their talent.
Yeah, Xiaohu is also one of probably the better mid lanes, I guess. Tian is also a world champion, so.
Erha is a hot prospect. He is a young, up-and-coming support. Interesting. New support. I didn't even hear about him, but would be cool. Team WE. Monkey will definitely be a hot prospect in the market as he has a great leadership roles and is super talented. FPX leaving the league, but Jue seems to be also super hot prospect. Yeah. Jue seems to be a hot prospect. That's a name I heard. That's a name I heard. I can confirm. All right. This is just starting, right? We're just starting. Let's continue. Tarzan and Kyle are re-signed. Very cool.
See, as said, yeah, and here, IG and IG and WE wants to strengthen their bot lane. Elk on stay in BLG. Obviously, Knight holds the highest and sees the most accomplished or awarded LPL player of all time.
Next up, IG and WE want to strengthen their bot lane. IG. I mean, you have Gala. Like, what more do you want, right? Elk and On, Beichuan staying in BLG. So it's Knight and Bin that we don't know about. Okay, so the craziest players, right? Knight holds the highest mid laner salary cap in the LPL, being the only player exceeding 10 million yuan, twice Scout's salary. That's crazy, right? Twice as much as Scout. The highest paid AD carry is Elk, earning more than Jekulov. Interesting, but I mean, he's also probably the best AD carry, right? So there's nothing surprising there. But Knight, wow, twice the salary of Scout. Always crazy with the LPL salaries. Next up, we have more rumors. So, okay, Tarzan and Cal are resigned. We knew about this. The Tarzan military duty has been solved. Anyone Legend top and mid and AD haven't resigned yet. So we know if they're not going to resign someone, it's probably going to be their AD carry hope. We're going to see. 369 might join, question mark. LNG signed missing. Okay. LNG with missing in support. Wow. This could be interesting. Smash missing, Zinni, and Zika, right? That sounds pretty cool, right? You're only missing a jungler. Very, very interesting. Beichuan, Elk on, still on BLG. Okay, we already heard.
Why would you? Okay. Why would you keep Beishuan at Worlds when you watched Beishuan? Okay, hello. But Beishuan really lost to the worst NA team. Why would you keep Why wouldn't you keep Shadow, which also European? Funny enough.
That IG wants to upgrade bot lane. We heard that. WE wants to upgrade AD. Interesting. The priority in the bidding system is okay. BLG has the first priority. That's interesting. So they will be the first that can bid. But I don't know if that's good or if that's bad. I don't know how the bidding system works. If you have multiple rounds or if it just you say the number and then others see it, or if they don't see it, I don't know how it works. Maybe
is it like how it might be like how NF or any other major sports where you just see it and whoever they pick whoever they want, I guess.
If you know, let me know in the comments. But this is pretty interesting. BLG, Top Esports, JDG, the Weibo, Anyone Legend, IG, EDG, FBX, WE, LNG, TT, RNG, NIP, LGD, UP, and OMG. Interesting. Shank's salary cap is very low, lower than Cream. Wow. So Anyone Legend, I mean, just re-sign him, right? Despite the controversies, give him a bit more money, resign him. Like your roster is really good, your coach is really good. Just give it a chance, and you will win the LPL and maybe do better on Worlds. Maybe you win Worlds next time, right? If you get through, like they went to 5 games with the world champion, right? It could have been them instead of T1 in the final, right?
But also, they've never lost to a Chinese team in a best of 5 ever, so unlucky.
Okay. Knight has the highest salary cap. We heard that. Elk has the highest salary cap. We heard that. Great. Let's continue. Okay. Newer leagues, right? I'm just going through them with you because I wanted to save the surprise. So Anyone's Legends recite everyone but top. Okay. Might get a sub from the AD pool. Interesting. Okay. So who was the top lane? Was it Flandre? But Flandre was so good. He was carrying the team. But I guess he's quite old now. I feel like he's approaching 30. Which is quite unheard of, except for being like Faker or Ruler or something, or Deft or just being like a legend, right? In Korea.
Well, the only people that are 30 that are still playing is Impact and Core JJ. Everyone else is still 20s.
Or China as well. So Flandre has not been resigned yet. Interesting. And they're keeping the AD carry, which is Hope, I believe. Or I hope. Anyways. They have Weibo. They have Xiaohu.
Okay, Flandre's
My husband
27.
used to ejaculate prematurely until this.
Oh my god.
Okay, so my husband has this fun habit.
No.
Zika. LNG Breathe. They traded top. Okay, so Zika. Wait, I don't quite get it. So, wait, Zika was on LNG, right? And now it's going to be Zika on Weibo and LNG Breathe, if I understand it correctly. That's interesting. Okay. I mean, both top laners are good. I'm just not... I don't know. I'm getting a bit lost in the sauce, but let's continue. IG very likely the Shy Wei rookie. Try to extend with Gala. Mako might leave. Okay, but they're keeping the roster, so the players are continuing. Okay, I like that. I was a bit worried that it's going to be a one-year project and then they're gone. But I really like the Shy. I really like Rookie. Way is good, right? Gala. So they just want to resign the same roster. That's so cool. That's so cool. I really wish the best for them, right? Especially if they liked playing with each other. It might be interesting. LNG missing, so it's true. Okay, or at least it's been rumored twice. Okay. JDG very likely Shun. Try to get a support with contract. Jue, Hang. Okay, so either hyped Rookie or Hang. Okay, very cool. Very, very cool. So JDG and LNG are cooking something. JDG or LNG are cooking something. Okay. Zeus highly likely won't come to LPL, but Viper might, depending on where Knight goes. Whoa, what does this mean? Does Knight want to join? Does Viper want to join up with Knight? Do they want to build like a super team together, or is it like one goes somewhere and the other goes the other way because there's no money or something? Let me know in the comments if you know about this. I'm quite new to the bidding system. This is the first time it's been introduced, right? So I don't quite know yet how it works. We have JJ and 369. They might go into the bidding pool. Okay, so it's like every free agent just automatically goes, like your contract runs out.
I think that's how it works.
How you go to the bidding pool? Okay, interesting. 369 being still good, JJ also being pretty solid. I mean, they're big names, right? These stars of the LPL. We'll have LCK rookies coming. Yeah, exactly, right? LCK rookies. So that's what I was talking about a couple of minutes ago, that we are going to see this inflow, this injection of LCK players, LCK rookies coming into the LPL. That's very, very, very exciting. Very, very interesting. Let's continue. JDG and BLG are contesting Viper. Wow. BLG have Elk and they want Viper? Come on. On the other hand, I mean, it would be cool, right? It would be cool. Nice.
I mean, it is Viper, to be fair. Let's look who we're talking about. It's freaking Viper, the guy. During this year, Hanwha Life was literally called Viper Life Esports for a reason. Especially at Worlds, since even when they were losing, he was outperforming Ruler and Genji. So
don't get me wrong, Viper has also great Chinese, so that's why everyone wants him, because the teams could still play in Chinese.
I mean, he also has great English as well.
But JDG, Viper missing. They could rebuild something. They could cook something. Question is, where does Pace go, right? We don't know. But that's quite interesting. Next up, we already saw this. It's Zini and Smash. So LNG being interested in Zini and Smash. Okay, what's next? Ooh, Genji. 2 of the Genji players will part ways.
Obviously, this has been not true, since they all are just they all came back on the same team. So this is old news anyway.
With a team. Wow. I heard some rumors that Duro is out. The Duro, Chovy Canyon. Why am I so lost in this? Chovy Canyon, Ruler, Keen. So this must be Duro, right? The elimination process. So Duro is out. Probably he wants a higher salary now that people know how good he is. I also kind of predicted this, by the way. I made a video about it back in the day. But okay, Duro. And so probably Duro. And then we have one more. People are saying it's Canyon. But man, I would hate to see Canyon leave. Like, he's such a great player, right? Like, you cannot say Canyon is not one of the best junglers in the world just because of like one series in Worlds or something. Up until then, they were dominating, right? So interesting. I mean, Chovy has to stay. Ruler has to stay. Keen. I mean, Keen is so good, man. Is Keen like going to go to T1 or something? Oh man, it has to be Kenyan, right? But it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. I hope they keep all the players, get the hands back, run it back, just have a strong team. If Kenyan is out, who is coming in? Is it Kanavi? Is it Kanavi from the LPL?
That was the rumor. If he
Is it Grizzly from the academy? Like I don't know. I cannot. Is it like a rookie jungler? That doesn't make sense. That's not really how Genji do it. I mean, they did it with Pace, right? But that was kind of like their star player in the making, and then they threw him under the bus when Ruler wanted to return. I mean, probably good decision.
I mean, to be fair, they didn't have the money to keep everyone, so they decided to trade. It was a trade. It was a trade between JDG and Genji to trade Hayes and Brewer.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Hi, I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest. With 2.5% cash back on $1,000 or more and unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, we can launch more breakthrough products.
The Ink Business Premier Card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
I hate this. Freaking 2 ads. I hate you.
EDG rumor. They are interested in 1xn Diablo.
Oh, actually, I haven't heard anything on EDG.
Go. Man, why does the AD carry pool look so hot? We have Diablo, we have Dogo, right? In Flying Oyster. Dogo looked like a demon. Diablo, literally a demon, right? Diablo, he has it in the name. We have Paze, we have Smash, we have Padak. And then you have all the star AD carries. We have Guma, Viper. Who is there? Dogdam. Who else? Ruler. Wow. And then you have the LPL AD carries. It looks stacked. Like the teams are going to be doing good. They're going to be eating well. Is there anything else? No. That's it for now. So let me know, what do you think about these rumors? They're crazy, absolutely crazy. I don't even know what to think of it, but we're definitely going to get more. We're going to make some roster comparisons and whatnot. It's going to be insane. And you know what's the best part? That these LCK, LPL rumors are never as accurate as the LCS or LEC rumors. I remember it was like one day before they had to announce the rosters, and like 1/3 of the rumors were of like the almost confirmed rumors were just wrong. Like the rosters that people are making, theory crafting based on the rumors. Which were like 100% confirmed according to people and whatnot, like multiple times from multiple sources, and it turned out being wrong. It were completely different players, a switch between the teams, or like something else. So that's what's so exciting about them. So let me know. I cannot speak. Forget about this. Don't mention in the comments for sure. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about the video? What do you think about these rumors? LPL, LCK. So exciting. And I have to go because I gotta wake up and go to my job tomorrow. So that's about it. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
All right, that's that one. All right, okay. And then we're gonna, this is from 2 days ago. So, yeah, we're gonna react to this.
qualified here. And today we're going to be talking about the LCK. And oh boy, I thought it's going to be a lot more boring than it is. But actually, I mean, the confirmed changes and the rumors, they're crazy, right? So let's first start with the confirmed changes that we know are happening for sure, that have been confirmed by the sources and everything. So starting with the BNK Fear X. So they're replacing their mid laner Vikla with their academy mid laner Daystar. And I think this is a great change because first of all, you're giving a rookie a chance to play in the league, and second of all, Vikla just did not look good at all. Now, I don't know what he was doing there, to be fair, but Daystar, I think they could have gotten someone better. Like, I think they could have gotten, like, Zini. But still, their Academy mid laner was pretty good. And I hope they're going to retain Diable. I was kind of hoping they're going to sign someone like Closer from the OK Savings Bro, because he, I think, is out of the team. But still, Daystar looks pretty solid. So let's just see where they're going to go with that team. Now, a lot more hype is D plus Kia signing Smash. Now, this one is so cool. And let's just open the link in a new tab, and let me see if I can have it right here. And so Smash is expected to join D plus Kia. So Smash has played at every level of Korean League of Legends within T1. And so he is going to D plus, and it's just going to be so hyped because Beryl is out. I can already spoil you that. But it seems that Showmaker, Lucid, and Siwoo are still on the contract and will probably stay. And I think Siwoo looked very good. It was his first year in the LCK. Now he can sort of be that stronger rookie or that more seasoned player in the top lane. Showmaker's still very strong mid laner. Lucid proved to be a very good jungler. And now with Smash coming to the team, they just need a really good support. And I think DK can retain or like regain their glory that they used to have. And it's really nice to see because I'm a fan of DK. So back to the roster changes. DRX is going to be signing Vincenzo from the T1.
But the unfortunate thing is that they keeping it coaching, which is the main issue. They fired everyone but the main coach issue.
Academy, the T1 challengers in the LCK CL. And this is again interesting because they let go of their whole team and now will be signing Vincenzo. He looks pretty good in the academy. Again, something like signing Daystar, right? It might be worth to give a chance to the rookies and see what sticks, what lands, and who plays well. Next up, we have Genji with Duro being confirmed, with Ruler and Chovy and Keen being very likely to stay with the team. But what do we see here? HLE, Viper is out, and he's getting replaced by Guma Yusi. So Zeus very likely to sign as well. Going to be playing with Guma Yusi. And there are some rumors. I think also Delight is very likely to sign. And then Peanut is obviously out. But there are some rumors that Canyon is joining the team as well. So HLE is going to be the next crazy Giga Super team if it continues this way. And then there are some rumors that HLE wants to buy out BDD. Now, I don't think this is very likely, given that KT is most likely keeping the roster. Apparently, HLE is looking for a way to...
They did not keep the roster. They let go basically of everyone except, I guess, the Eve. Perfect. They let go of the bot lane.
To get a buyout and buy out BDD. But if KT wanted to do this, they would probably just get Zini. But Zini is going to Shopify in LCS. So that doesn't really make much sense. However, we know KT is in some financial trouble. We don't know how much money HLE has to throw at the other teams. But so far, it's looking really good. I mean, just the top and AD carry reunited. The two T1 players reunited on HLE. But that's not everything because we have two former Gen G players reunited on T1. And it's Doran and Paze. So I like how these players kind of keep shuffling between the teams because now we have Zeus and Guma on HLE. We have Doran and Pays on T1. And I mean, that's very likely that Honor and Keria will resign with the team. But still, Pays on T1. What is happening, guys? What is happening? We expected it's going to be the Smash, right? I mean, Guma Yusi most likely left because of what happened, because of the trust that got broken when they replaced him with Smash. And in the end, he ended up winning, and he ended up becoming the MVP, right? And now
I
you
mean,
would.
I predicted. I didn't say this publicly, but I did predict. The fact that he signed a year, I predicted he would leave after a year was up. That seemed to be true. And Pays is also insane. He basically is the only reason that JDG had any hope of making Worlds at all.
At least expect T1 to go all in or on their star AD carry, Smash. But instead, they're picking up Pays from the LPL. Now, many people are unsatisfied with this, but I don't think Pays is going to be the problem. Like, if you think about it, Pays was really, really insane on Genji. Like, he was so good. They only got Ruler because Ruler is Ruler, right? It's like if next season, Guma Yusi decided he wants to return to T1. Like, wouldn't T1 take him back? Like, no.
I mean, not for since they signed him for 3 years, so I don't think they can at this point.
No matter how sick Pays is next season, like whatever Guma accomplished, right? Being the best AD carry, being the world's MVP, winning 3 titles with them, like whatever Guma accomplished on T1, the same that Ruler accomplished on Genji. So of course you're going to take him back. I mean, the player of such caliber, right?
I mean, why would you take back your organization's player since 2017?
But it's just that Pays will look really good on Genji. And then he went to the JDG. They did a switcheroo.
It was a trade, yeah.
And I mean, that was just disgusting, right? I mean, what Scout was doing on that team, what everyone was doing on the team, the coaching staff changing, everything. But Pays was playing well. Despite
Pays was the one brightness to the JDG team.
Everything, he was playing well, and he was one of the major one of the major reasons that made the team competitive. So I don't think that's a bad signing at all. It just looks a bit troll because, I mean, we kind of forgot about Pays. First of all, we saw what season he had in the LPL, right? So it makes sense that we're going to be a bit judgy, especially the hardcore T1 fans and so on.
What in the world?
But I don't think it's crazy at all. I don't think it's as crazy as OK Bro signing Teddy. Why are you doing this to yourself? I mean, Teddy just looks so washed. I mean, there was Lazyfield, this guy from the academy.
Did they not still have Lazyfield on the roster? Also, the only non-Korean in the LCK, but do they not still have Lazyfield? No, wait, Lazyfield's on DRX. So that's
the Vietnamese player, right? You could have just gotten him. I mean, I still hope that DRX gets him and just shows everyone how much better he is than Teddy. I mean, nothing wrong against Teddy, but I mean, there was a reason he was replaced by Guma. I mean, obviously Guma is the best, right? So that doesn't mean Teddy is bad. It's just with all these like young, strong players, like mechanically insane players, just Teddy doesn't look like he's that great anymore. So, I mean, it's cool to see him in the league again. I just don't get the hype around Teddy. To me, he's past his prime, but that's just me. Okay, but we covered the changes, right? And it's crazy. It's crazy. But let's look at the rumors, right? Let's look at the rumors as well. So, first of all, we have Scout that's set to return to the LCK with Nongshim. So much like Pays coming back, we know JDG team kind of just crumbled, and Scout is supposed to return to the LCK with NS. So I wonder what kind of team Nongshim is going to build, because
I think from understanding, Nongshim has most of their players stuff. It's still there outside the mid lane, obviously.
I just don't think you can crack the top 3, which is T1, Genji, HLE. I mean, top 4 even, right? There's KT. And then the DK just got so much stronger by signing Smash. There's like top 5 teams. I don't know. But I mean, Nongshim, they have Lehens, right? So Scout Lehens, that already looks pretty good. So maybe they can cook something. We see who they can pick up. There's still some options for them to go with. So we'll see how that goes. Next up, we have Canyon is out from Genji. So I already talked about this. But as of today, the contract with Canyon has come to an end. We are sincerely grateful for everything he brought to the team during his time with us. The moments we shared will not be forgotten. We wish him all the success and happiness. So I don't know who's going to Genji, but it might be Kanavi, because Canyon is out, right? So Canyon might be going to HLE, and I think Kanavi might be the pickup for Genji, unless they go with like Grizzly and just like really go crazy, right? We have some comments here. That doesn't really matter right now. Next up, Dogdam and Peter officially out from KT roster. So again, comment, the offseason just keeps getting crazier. Yeah, this is just very, very crazy, right? Dogdam, Peter is out. What else do we have here? Dogdam will be signing with DN Freaks. So I was kind of hoping that now with the Scout being in Nongshim and the Lehens being in Nongshim, that we're going to see Dogdam there. But it's actually Dogdam will be signing with DN Freaks, replacing Berserker on the post. What do we have next? We have DRX dropping their entire roster. We already talked about this. I mean, still Rich has not been dropped, so he might stay playing for the team. We don't know. But yeah, I think this was long needed, and just a good rebuild is due.
Okay, did Lazyfield just go back to the academy? I'm guessing that's what happened.
Next up, we have Viper is set to leave HLE. We know this because we saw Guma replacing Viper, but multiple LPL teams have made him offers that are far larger than the LCK. So a lot of money still in the LPL. He will prioritize joining a roster that can realistically contend for a title. And I think this comes down to 2 teams. BLG, where he can play with Knight. We know he wanted to play with Knight, and I think BLG was doing pretty well. But that would mean Elk is out. And I think Elk is very, very good. So there's like, it almost feels kind of redundant with, like, Viper is really, really good, right? We know that. He might be like one of the best AD carries in the world. I mean, he is one of the best AD carries in the world. He might be the best. But replacing Elk, who's also one of the best, it just feels a bit redundant, you know? While if he would join a team like JDG, who's apparently trying to build a super team, and they would somehow also get Knight on the team and whatnot, that might be a very, very strong team. I think they already got missing. At least those are the rumors, right? So that would be very, very cool. Yeah, he played in Griffin and so on. So he's departing from HLE. And then we have Aiming and Barrel leaving DK. So another bot lane that's leaving.
Yeah, next year Barrel win World somehow, so he can steal paychecks the next 6 years. I would not be surprised if that happens again, but they're aiming
from DK. So we're probably going to see some reshuffling of these players going on and so on. And we have Vincenzo set to join the RX. We already saw that. And then finally, Korean media report Zeus has renewed his contract with HLE. So Zeus is probably renewing, and he's going to be playing alongside Guma UC. And we kind of expected this, but it's really cool to see it here as well. So that might be it for today's video. But I'm really interested because it's kind of tough to see all these rumors and all these news. So let me know in the comments, what are your rumors? What are your predictions about the LCK season? Who do you think will pick up who? How strong do you think the teams will be? Just let me know all of this in the comments. and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
All right, and
Hello, homies. Additional news surrounding the departure of Gumayushi. Obviously, I think it froze the whole League of Legends world because it's the end of a dynasty and at the beginning potentially of a new one and so forth. Gumayushi, after winning Finals MVP in an unprecedented, situation, is now no longer part of T1, as I mentioned in the previous video. New information has come.
and as in sports and just in general, nothing lasts forever. Eventually, teams and rosters will change, even after a three-peat. That will happen.
Come to light where basically Naver reports that regardless of the 2025 World Championship performance, even if he's selected as the World's Finals MVP, it was an internal policy decided that his contract would expire.
I mean, he did sign for a year, which means it was going to expire regardless.
The thing is, this news reads that it was decided already that his contract would expire, but it doesn't specify specifically why they reached that conclusion, right? And I wouldn't put it besides, the outside of equation. My theory, right? So basically, it's like a source familiar with T1 speaking condition of anonymity with G-Star hinted at Gumayushi's future. As it turned out, his words were accurate. Gumayushi and T1 have ended the time together. So it's a reputable source. But the key detail here, right, is that the decision was made doesn't necessarily mean that Gumayushi wasn't participating in that decision. It's unclear if they had a conversation. My theory, based on everything that we know so far and the info that we had from earlier, that pointed to the fact that Gumayushi insisted on having a clause in his contract that would prevent him from being benched. I think the T1 signed and made an agreement with FaZe very early on. And I think their intention was to continue with Gumayushi and have a 6-man roster with FaZe included, and then to leverage, of course, Gumayushi's brand and then to continue working in that manner. Obviously, I'm speculating, but it seems like these two things coincide if we just combine the two pieces of information that were, let's say, put out in the open. There could definitely be a world where T1 wanted to run with a 6-man roster, and they presented Gumayushi with a circumstance that probably he just couldn't agree with. There could be as well that this was a play to maybe save face from T1, so it seems as if Gumayushi made this decision, but it could be a scenario where Gumayushi was forced to take this decision. Obviously, I am speculating based on.
I mean, there was also a rumor out there that even if they were already going to sign FaZe, and Guma was expected to be a sub for FaZe anyway. That is not confirmed, but that is a rumor.
Nuggets of information here that we get. So take it, of course, with a grain of salt. But I repeat, my understanding and my guesstimation here, based on the moving pieces, is that I think that they had an agreement with FaZe very early on. And I think Gumayushi was proposed a 6-man roster with probably less of a salary and decided, this doesn't make sense for me. Because from Gumayushi's side, now as a follow-up, Gumayushi expected to join Hanwha Live Esports in terms of where the money is. Looking at Gumayushi and his career from this point in time, there's never going to be a moment where your value is larger than, of course, this circumstance. Larger than this moment, where you have a situation where you're the finals MVP, you won the world championship. If you bounce around and you are, you might get substituted, and for some reason you don't win the world championship the next year, suddenly you won't get that big of a, payoff. And from Gumayushi's side, I think that, he gave it his all this year. I think he redeemed his year immensely so. And of course, at the world championship. And I think that, at this point, considering the rumored pay cuts, I do think that this is a moment for Gumayushi to step out of the shadow of some of his teammates, and then to get a huge ass bag. There was a post that
I guess also prove that he can be a winner and stuff without the GOAT in T1 as his team.
Thought was very, very interesting that contextualizes this in a very, very good way, where basically this post here by this user. First, let me be clear, this is not a defense of T1's front office for the successful actions after Zeus' departure. There was an excuse for the failure to adequately protect Gumeyushi when he was targeted by toxic fans. I think these are good points to point to. I do think that the way T1 managed the Zeus departure was very bad, and they apologized in the aftermath. And I do think there was more that could be done in terms of protecting Gumeyushi from T1 gallery, because those guys are psychos. Like, those are complete psychos, and really, really went far and beyond to cross boundaries that should be very, very clear. This post basically breaks down the salary cap rules. For those who don't know, salary caps are in place where basically if you spend if the totality of your spending on the roster exceeds a certain amount, you have to then pay a tax. And then if you exceed far beyond the cap, then of course you are going to pay even a bigger fine. But there is a detail where the impact of a salary of a player is determined by if a player is with a team for 3 or more years, and of course the reduction for exceptional performance criteria. And those exceptional performance criteria are based on the results at Worlds and MSI, and then of course Worlds MSI, if you win, gives you 2 points. First stand gives you 1 point, LCK gives you 2 points, LCK title until 2024, 1 point. So if you are then, the performance reduction is difficult to achieve, meaning that basically at first, when this was introduced, there was not a lot of players that qualified to this at all. Even now, the list is quite short. Faker, Canyon, Chovy, and Ruler. I think that
life is but a dream.
Gucci guilty bone.
Is what
when your kid is hurting and there's nothing you can do about it.
Even in this context, you have to keep in mind that you need to get these points from both categories. So owner Gumeyushi Keria, even though these guys, are there in the mix, these guys have won the World Championship 3 times. They haven't won enough LCK titles to qualify. So that is, of course, the difficult aspect of this. At first, it was almost a rule specifically created for Faker, because obviously, if you create a salary cap, you put then T1 at a significant disadvantage. Whoever would sign Faker would be at a significant disadvantage because he deserves to be paid a certain amount, and then anything else that you would spend would just, of course, kneecap you. But to bring back that context to, of course, T1, you have a situation now where a player like Faker reduces 65% less of a impact on against the cap. But still, in terms of how you distribute your salary within the team and how you kind of break through to those limits, T1 is in a position where I don't think there's a world where they can actually exceed certain thresholds, which could be, an interesting point if we think back to the whole Zeus point where people mentioned it's like, why didn't they pay, a certain amount of money? Why didn't they exceed here? Maybe they were already in a position where they were exceeding that 200% threshold. So as mentioned before, the threshold for, of course, spending is at 100%, between 200%, 25% over the limit is what you pay. And then spending over 200% of the cap, instantly you get a flat tax of 1 billion Korean won and 50% on any amount exceeding the 100% mark. So it means the 700,000 USD if you exceed this mark. So it could be a situation where we can only offer Zeus this, and if we exceed, then suddenly we have to pay this fine for 700 USD, and it could be the case. The amount they need to pay for Faker, even with the 65% reduction against the cap, makes this difficult to navigate. And I do think that this is something that T1 need to, of course, work around. T1 is the number one priority, as stated here in the post. I agree with that. Faker comes first. You need to keep him happy. If he has any incentive to go elsewhere or whatever, I think that, that would be crazy. And I do think that they can probably make it clear to Vegas, like, yo, brother, like we need to sign other players too. Like we need to find some balance here, you know. Probably there's something that they, of course, figure out. But it brings back to the initial topic. It's like now Gumayushi, I'm sure that he's just getting paid so much more on a team like Hanwha Life because of the said salary cap. There is no faker in the mid lane that is, of course, vacuuming, a big part of the money. And at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if on T1, Owner, Keria, and of course, then Faker are the most paid players because I do think that they are the least replaceable ones. In the past, I think Zeus could have been considered in that category, especially at 23. But now with Doran and his performance, I do think that T1 are rather happy with the Gambit and how it played out. But I thought this post was super, super interesting and tie that together to Gumayushi now joining HLE. It seems like he's going to get, a big bag. And I do think that, of course, Gumayushi deserves that, which makes for a very, very interesting roster. In this context, the whole Viper scenario, in terms of how it has played out, currently the rumor is, to just wrap this up, if HLE, they need to secure, of course, Gumayushi, that's because Viper was almost dead set on working with Knight. If there was no world where he could join T1 and T1 already had eyes on Pays, with my theory being mentioned before, I do think that Viper, the Billy scenario, it seems like that's 99.9% a lock, where Knight, Shun, On, and of course, Bin. On top of that, Viper instead of Elk. That seems to be the super roster that is built there. Viper is in a position where he speaks so many languages and has, so much experience in both, of course, China and the LCK, and his English is on fleek too. But I doubt that the player this caliber will ever go join a Western team.
Highly doubt it.
Nevertheless, that super team is built, and I do think that Viper just wanted to play with a mid laner that believes can be one of the best mid laners in the world, which makes it so disappointing how this KT kind of offseason unfolded. Because KT, it's apparently their front office, the parent company of KT, is experiencing some turmoil. I don't know the details, so I don't want to go too much into that. So they are trying not to spend, but Doktam has departed, Peter has departed, and Kaz and BDD are the ones that are signed. At this point, I kind of hope that BDD gets sold because there are rumors teams are actively pursuing a buyout onto, of course, BDD. And if BDD can join this HLE roster together with the rumored Kanavi, and they have Zeus and Gumayushi and maybe a Peter or a Delight, I think this roster is tremendous then. Tremendous. But I think if they can't get Kanavi for some reason, I do think that the jungle pool is extremely, extremely thin. And I do think that would be a massive problem for them. Because if they suddenly, they have like players like Gumayushi and Zeus, and then their jungler is Gideon, then I am not excited. I am going to be a lot less excited than what I was this year for HLE. But KT, it seems like they're phoning it in. I really thought they would be a big player in this offseason because BDD and Cuz, having them signed when Peanut is out of the pool and BDD is one of the best mid laners in the world, I did think that they're going to make stronger bids for players because I think they could have contested Zeus, they could have contested Gumayushi if they really wanted to, but it seems like they don't have the money to play with the big dog that is HLE. So if HLE can secure Kanavi, I do think that they are doing Electric Boogaloo. And then the added detail, if they get Kanavi and they get Home as well, they also fill the vacant coaching position because Dandy has, of course, also left the organization. But a lot of dynamics at play. I hope that Gumayushi finds a home where he is happy. But you have to keep in mind, guys, I put this at the end because this is something that I want to make very clear. Like teams staying together for this long, there are going to be reasons why teams and players,
And that usually doesn't happen that often. Like, I think, especially for championship rosters, usually the length is like 3 years, maybe one more year after that.
Should go separate ways. That's something that occurs in every team. Internally, to move on when a dynamic has, ran its course and where there is a peak level of fatigue, I do think it's important to remember that this T1 roster, the core, was together for so damn long. It's not something that we've seen in any other team globally, right? Any other team globally. And this is a team that was, competing at the highest level all the time, under stress, all the time, under pressure, all the time. I'm sure at this point in time, the T1 group, even though everyone wants to romanticize how, magical they are, I imagine internally as well, in terms of the pressure and the stress and the tension and the anxiety and, dealing with that and fighting against that and raging against that, it really takes a toll on you. And I think when it does, relationships, change, and you carry a lot of luggage. You definitely carry a lot of luggage. And sometimes a person or a player moving a different direction and kind of spreading their wings elsewhere gives them an opportunity to grow. And that's sometimes the best case scenario for both parties. I think that this is a natural thing when you are in a high performance environment and you work together for this damn long, because a very unique detail to esports is the fact that, you are actually grinding and working together 12 hours a day in the same room, and you know nothing else of life. You know nothing else of life. You push, and I know from my experience the LCK schedule, it is one of the most brutal ones because, for example, in Sandbox, we had like one break day every 3 weeks, one break day, because it was a rolling schedule in terms of where the matches were played. So we didn't have like a lot of time to take a breather. And then occasionally we take one break day, and I can tell you all the players disappeared from the gaming house. I didn't see them. Some of them went home. Some of them went to gaming cafes. They just disappeared. They didn't want to see their coach's face. So that was like the one day where me and the other coaches just had the office and, the penthouse floor to ourselves. And then we usually like went to like a spa.
Like a relentless weed, moderate to severe ulcerative colitis symptoms can keep.
And chilled in a sauna or something. It was a good time. Nevertheless, this is a natural course, and I think that sitting here putting blame, I think, is not the right way. I saw people like speculating. It's like, oh, look how distant Koma is and how he's treating.
That was a theory, yeah.
Him. He's the one that ruined the dynamic. He ruined this or whatever.
That's just
I
a
think
theory
that
at the end.
first and foremost, I don't think that any decisions happen in this team without the input of Faker and Keria. I do think that they are very involved in the process. And I do think that, putting blame on someone for a team to have, ran its course, I think from outside is extremely, extremely unfair. You don't know the details of what went
Yeah, we don't know
on the inside.
we're just
Neither do
making
I.
guesses.
Only they do. And I think that is something extremely intimate, especially in a team environment, because the team environment is a scenario where everyone should have, the permission to be vulnerable and to be themselves. And I think that that is extremely sacred, very, very sacred. And
And if you
that's
play with
why
any
I wanted
team,
to
then
end on the
you know
note
how it
that
goes.
you shouldn't sit there and ask and put blame on things. You should look at it in a way where T1, the fact that they stuck together for this long and overcame so many challenges together, is already a miracle in itself. And I do, a part of me now is very excited for what's to come. The rivalry that is going to spawn, How Alive versus, of course, T1, the memes that are coming up where How Alive is slowly like getting more and more of the T1 players, and then 2029 they're gonna announce Faker. Those memes are very, very hilarious. I enjoy them a lot.
Then you have the Genji.
I think that's the way. That is the way.
I mean, it's the Genji, Hanwha Life, and T1, because what? Delight was on Genji. Dorm was on Genji. Dorm was on HLE. Paige was on Genji. So it's just a circle of ex teammates against each other.
So I leave on that note. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.
Where am I going?
All right, that's the end. I guess it's going to be the end of the stream. We'll talk to you later. This was just kind of an overview on off season and rumors, leaks, and So I have a stream later the night, as usual. Yeah. And then we and if, I think I might do a video tomorrow. We'll see. Anything else? Oh, good. I'll see you next week unless something else happens. Then bye. But until then, bye. See ya.
Welcome to the Blizzard Arena.
And the quest for a champion begins today.
The anticipation has been building, and it is finally time. We are live. Are you ready?
That is a really.
Can you get over the roof there?
Oh my!
Oh my! What a play! What a grab!
Another jump here on the high ground. Super goes forward, but gets stuck off. The EMP comes in, and ding! He rains down hell from above.
Here comes Pine. Gets one, gets two. Looking for a bit more, gets another one.
Tuno's down again. That heralds disaster generally for the Fusion. And Carpe wasn't far behind. Prophet! He's killed 4 players now on his own.
From Vancouver, locks him in the sound barrier. Sound the bomb coming in from John. Oh my God! He does it again.
What now moving onto the Widowmaker, taking the clutch into his own hands. The headshot after headshot after headshot.
Okay, I like this for the Gladiators. We're gonna try and circle around. I will call this the merry-go-round because it makes me laugh. Makes me happy, and Sean Paul switches to the Widowmaker at just the right time.
Oh, the Raven!
I'm the best fish in the world.
Oh my word!
I mean, you could have told me that you spoke English, honestly.
The fans never thought they'd see this day. It took 43 matches. Feels like a really emotional moment here.
Alrighty. I will see you later. Bye.